around, and you can see the names
Tuesday night
of everybody on your tokens.
Tuesday night. Yep. Hello, Tuesday night.
And you can see other people's names and tokens and all that.
Yep.
Yes.
I can move my token. Yes. That's excellent. It's good. Good to move a token. Gotta move a token.
Wrong. All right, we're doing it. I know how to start a thing.
That's right. Video and sound are good, I'm told. I'm trying to live up to I'm trying to surpass the standards of the usual Tuesday night. How about that?
Whoa, we're not talking about anything specific.
Look, shoot for the sky, shoot for the stars, right? Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. That's what Casey taught me.
Oh, okay.
I just fixed my recording to record with the correct mic, or someone might murder me.
Nice.
Yeah, I know where you live.
Yes, you do.
Whoa.
Is it time for Sports Corner yet, Tony? When does that happen?
I think we can't do that without...
we are legally not allowed.
The intellectual property of Sports Corner is a fraught, as I've discovered in terms of... Because some people just steal it for their other podcasts, and yet I'm unwilling to do it without
it's a different corner.
A quorum.
There's just
a nerd quorum.
All right.
So, yeah. So, today... This is not the podcast yet. No. I promise I'll let you know when we're starting that. But for the stream, we are going to be playing. I guess this should just be in the episode. Why do I say anything before we start doing stuff?
I don't know.
Why do I do anything?
Everything good? It's Tuesday. Oh, Mateo reports that Mateo can't hear Dan.
That's a feature.
Look, I got a text from Dan. Dan is in a very nice vacation location.
Yeah, he's at a resort, so don't feel bad for Dan. Yeah, that's the spirit. When nice things happen to our friends, we greet them with anger. Jason, how was your lovely trip to a tropical island? Yeah, eat it, jerk. You don't deserve nice things.
Fun fact about New Zealand, Tony, not tropical.
Not tropical? Temperate. Oh, you know what? I apologize.
Temperate.
What is what makes something? I don't really know what makes something tropical.
At one point, we were at 45 south latitude, where like the only land that far south is the tip of South America and the south part of New Zealand. It's like most of the way to Antarctica.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure Antarctica is mostly land.
It's inhabited by regular people.
Let us speak.
What I'm saying is,
McMurdo Base.
It's actually pretty cold there. It's the Canada of Australia, I guess. If you want to think of it that way. Smaller, colder country next to larger, warmer, not as nice country. Less polite.
I just assume there was palm trees. I just assume everywhere is much nicer than New England, because Erica and Annette don't talk about the weather in Alberta very much. So
I think New Zealand's climate is actually most like England, believe it or not. And in the far south, where it's very cold and like full of rocks and just rocks and sheep and stuff, that's where all the Scottish people immigrated to, because they're like, cold, miserable with rocks and sheep.
Familiar.
That's the life for me. Like,
I guess it's that
other climates are available, immigrants. Please, just
when I see images of it, it looks extremely green.
Yes, it is. It is. It's just not,
and that makes me assume that it's nice. Blocking out, for example. The land of my people, where my parents are right now, Ireland, which is also very green, but is not known for its weather.
It's more like, I would say it's probably more like Ireland. And we were there in midsummer, and it actually snowed on the peaks when we were.
I'm not a scientist, but it's possible that all the green comes from water coming from the sky and not from sunshine. What do I know?
Leprechauns.
Yeah. So, did you see any alpine parrots?
No, we heard about them.
Okay,
but I didn't see one. I did see a
New
kiwi.
Zealand is noteworthy for having, I forget the name of it, but the world's only alpine parrot, which is this terrifying bird that has like horrible talons and beaks, and it will, if you park a car near it, it will strip all the rubber parts off your car.
Wow.
And I guess it mainly feeds it takes a bite out of a sheep or a goat and then like has some blood and then keeps going.
It's like an aki or something. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's a wild parrot.
That's not what we're here to do.
No,
today.
It sounds like a monster.
But thank you for listening to all of this. Before we start the thing, I will make an announcement. I signed up for a thing where Roll20, the people that make the service we use for playing D&D online, send me codes for things occasionally. And today they have sent me a code to give away 4 keys from the Golden Vault on Roll20. So I know not everyone who listens to stuff plays D&D or plays D&D online with Roll20, but I will give away 1 code after our session today. If you enjoy listening to this and are like, I want to run this for friends, you might get to be one of the people who wins the code. I will tell you later about the criteria. I'm telling you this now to build excitement and in the hopes that I am less likely to forget and that one or more of my friends might remind me around 9:15 that that's a thing to do. All right. I think we can start the episode. No one said
yes.
No. But
yes.
Okay,
sure, Tony.
Some people said yes tentatively. Welcome back to Total Party Kill.
Recording.
Today we are doing one of my favorite things. We are starting a brand new adventure. But wait, who am I? I'm Tony Sindelar. Is he him pronouns? I am a dungeon master, often on Total Party Kill. And today, the adventure we will be starting is an adventure known as the Murkmire Malevolence. It is the first adventure, the level 1 adventure from the recently released official Wizards of the Coast D&D Keys from the Golden Vault, which is a series of heist-themed adventures. I was very excited to buy this book, and several of my friends are very excited to play it because, I think nerds just love heists. Right? Yes. Is that fair to say, nerds? You can speak.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Nerds love heists. I think because they are basically the nerdiest form of crime because they have a lot of planning to them and careful calculation and consideration.
Requires good organization, thought, planning.
I mean, a heist is the project management, concentration of crime.
Most criminals get into crime because they don't want to do homework, but heisters get into crime because they want to do.
They want the homework.
They're all about the homework.
That's right.
Well, let us introduce some of these aforementioned nerds. I will introduce them, and they will introduce their. I was going to say brand new, but at least new to this adventure characters that they will be playing. We have a heist crew of 4 today. Players, I will tell you, for purposes of this adventure, you already all know each other and perhaps maybe even have pulled some jobs together in the past. But this will be, your first big score. First up, it's Jason Snell. Welcome back to Total Party Kill, Jason Snell.
Oh, hello. Hi, Tony. Hi, everybody. I am playing a character named Revel. He is a Triton, so he is a blue fish man. And he is also a druid because that's funny. And so, he lives in something under the sea. No, that's SpongeBob. Sorry. He's from Little Ocean in the hard Scrabble world of Waterdeep. He grew up there, and now he's he's a man of the people. He's kind of a folk hero. Rabble-rouser, troublemaker, and apparently enjoys doing the homework in terms of heist planning.
Thank you for joining us, Jason. Also joining us, it's Annette Wierstra. Hi, Annette.
Hello, I am Annette, and I am playing J-Raff, an Aasimar paladin. She's kind of goth Aasimar, though, so she likes wearing a lot of black and purple, and she also comes from Waterdeep. She came from a family that's quite wealthy, but she's going through this sort of, she's about, should be past it, but a rebellious stage where she's pretending like she doesn't come from money and is a bit petulant, but she thinks she should be a criminal instead of doing what her parents want her to do. And
I have a question, Annette. I have a question.
Yes.
Is the gothness of her part of her rebellion, or are her whole family goth Aasimars?
No, she is goth because she is being rebellious.
Okay, all right.
Her parents would prefer her.
They're hippies.
The family portraits are these classy Aasimar and one really goth Aasimar out front.
Yes. Or no, they actually hide her towards the back because they're not super proud of her because some rumors.
Ever since she dyed her hair, they put her away in the back.
Yeah, her hair's definitely purple.
Mm-hmm.
So
Excellent.
yeah, and she honors as a paladin, which her family does not. Again, this is another part of her rebellion, is the Raven
She found
Queen.
religion. Yeah.
So yeah, she can't do anything her parents did, and so she will, anything they did, super uncool.
Sounds like trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Also joining us, it's Monty Ashley.
Hello, I'm Monty Ashley. My pronouns are he, him. I am a Dungeons and Dragons player. Today I will be playing Krong, the bugbear. Now this is a slightly different bugbear than the last Krong you might have heard, because they changed the description of bugbears, and also I don't know if I remember how I did the voice.
So this is either, depending on how it goes, it's either Krong the early years, or it's like when they went back in time and made a different, like a reboot of Star Trek. It's Krong the reboot. It's one of those.
The name on the character sheet is A Whole New Krong.
I saw that. It made me laugh.
And last but certainly not least, rounding out our high crew of nerds, it's Erica Ensign. Hi, Erica.
Hello, yes, Erica Ensign, she, her. I am playing Levithia du Isigri, who is a human ranger, and she also comes from nobility and wealth. And actually, I think that's how she ended up here, because she was, well, I'm not going to say childhood friends with Jay, but their parents made them play together because they thought that might be a good influence. But Levithia is just a real spacey kid, liked to roam the woods around the country manor as opposed to the house in the city, and is like just the weird second daughter. So not like outright scorn, but her parents are just like, yeah, you just go do whatever you want. And she has a tendency to just sort of stare into space and not be paying great attention to what's happening around her, but she follows directions really well. And I don't know, maybe Jay was like, we probably need a human just in case. so here I am.
So the four of you have perhaps worked together, or at least crossed paths, and recently joined together as adventurers are wont to do. In order to pull down various tasks that take more than one person. That where places where a team can really come together. And so the four of you have been operating for a while. Our adventure today is going to take place in the city of Varkenbluff. That's Vark, VARK, Bluff, BLUFF. All of these will be provided for you in writing later. Don't worry about it. Varkenbluff is the jewel of the greater Varkenbluff area, according to the Varkenbluff Chamber of Commerce. It's a kind of a mid-range city. It's got a couple taverns. It's got some areas around it that are a little rough and tumble, which can be good for adventurers in terms of there might be places that need to be protected, or caravan duty, or ancient tombs to explore. But there's also the Varkenbluff is, as a city, is big enough that there's stuff happening in Varkenbluff itself. Now, some of you, of the four of you, may have heard previously, these are your characters, not the players, just so we're clear, of the group known as the Golden Vault. The Golden Vault is you don't know a lot, because the main thing that you know about the Golden Vault is that they are a secret society. The Golden Vault has a reputation as being one of those kind of benevolent secret societies, in that they
give me a different one.
I'm sorry, Monty. It's literally on the book. The title. The Golden Vault is they are known for doing the right thing, but perhaps through secret means, and perhaps clandestine means, but usually for good intentions. And they are, they as a secret society do not claim anything, but they are sometimes attributed with various things that perhaps have, save the town or save various cities in and around Varkenbluff from all manner of untoward things. And so, perhaps it is with some excitement, or in the case of Krong, boredom and distrust, that we're going to say that Levithia, you have received an invitation to meet with a contact from the Golden Vault, because of a potential contract that they want you to take out. This would be potentially basically a tryout job for becoming what is known as a key. That is what they call their agents, the keys from the Golden Vault.
Okay, Levithia is not the kind of person to ever check her mail, so...
It arrives by bird. It's a scroll.
Okay.
What bird?
It is a cardinal. A cardinal taps on your window with a little scroll, and there's just the name of a tavern.
Picturing a guy with a pointy hat out there on the windowsill. Hello.
The name of the tavern. The tavern name is the Phoenix's Beak. And the tomorrow at 9 a.m., which is a very early tavern meeting. Let's be clear here. There is also a golden key attached to the little note that you receive from the cardinal.
Does it just say that, or does it tell me who to bring, or?
It's just. I think there's the implication to bring your friends. Yeah. It's your traditional +3 adventure invitation.
Gotcha. All right.
Chicken or beef.
Probably she'll just set it down and forget it for a while, but then eventually, I don't know, she'll pick it up, and I don't know, maybe I'm bunking with Jay for a while, and we have this sweet goth pad. Or maybe, actually, probably Jay's staying at my parents' house.
Yeah, I can't afford my own place if I reject my parents' will. Come on.
You can come and stay with me. I just
cool.
hand it over to you. We got a thing?
We should go and get our friends, Krong and Ravel.
Oh, okay.
I think they're available, but I don't know.
They're available, I'm sure of it.
Okay, and so they are. All right. So can we fast forward to 9 a.m. at the Phoenix's Beak?
I mean, unless somebody argues.
No, Ravel's like, Phoenix's Beak, 9 a.m. Oh man, they got a great brunch.
The brunch is acceptable
with mimosas.
It is. Yeah.
That are mostly orange juice, but still.
Yeah, that's how they get you. All right, Krong, are you allowed to be awake at 9 a.m.? I forget how bugbears work.
I can be awake at it. Excuse me, I had something caught in my throat. I can be awake at any time I want.
And so,
Batman, this feels like Batman.
I think that was what Krong sounded like.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
And so you make your way to the Phoenix Beak. Despite the quality of the brunch, fine. It is a pretty
pretty early for brunch, isn't it? 9 a.m. That's still breakfast time.
That is a thing. Somebody once tried to get me to have brunch at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and I was like angry. It was also breakfast. Like it was far away. It was like a 40-minute drive from my house, and it was like, what? I don't want to be up this early. This offends me. Anyway, that's backstory from that one time Tony had brunch and was grumpy about it 10 years ago.
Wow.
Add it to the wiki.
Yep.
It's canon.
Yep.
Canonical in Tony's life.
Someone's assembling a timeline, and it's not me. The Phoenix Beak, pretty sparse crowd, and you find you find a booth. It's nice. You get your mimosas and various breakfast things. They have some potatoes. They have eggs. I don't know what else they have for breakfast in old-timey D&D world, but if you can imagine it, they have it.
French toast.
It just might not be very good. Oh, well, do they call it? I think they call it goblin toast.
Yes, it is called goblin toast, but it is because they have a
good yes ending.
Well, the goblin toast, you see, Tony, is very good in D&D time because there's a lot of stale bread, right? Because the bread quality is not very good. So they very quickly were like, we got to do something with this crappy stale bread, and a goblin, a well-known goblin, whose name is lost to history, unfortunately. But he's known as the inventor of French toast.
One of those well-known people who we don't know their names.
His name actually was French, strangely enough. And And
Yes,
French
of course.
said, "Why don't
Yeah,
we
but
mix it,
it's
dip it in
spelled
egg?"
like FR apostrophe NCH.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, due to racism, they didn't call it French toast. They called it goblin toast. But it's very
Wow.
good and not made with goblins, usually.
Sometimes made by goblins. Never made for goblins.
Yeah,
Tragically.
goblins are frequently back of house people. There's a lot of
Yeah.
racism.
There's
in
kind of some
society
cultural
still.
appropriation going on when they have the goblins make the goblin toast, but it's okay.
Yeah. All right.
This is what we're doing, right? It's a whole adventure where we eat out and travel and see the world, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess this is what we're doing. As you are settling into your booth, give me a quick perception check.
Oh, rolling dice.
I rolled a good number.
Can I choose not to?
Yes.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled.
I rolled a 19 for a total of 20.
In
All
my
right.
defense, I ordered a mimosa, hold the orange juice, and so I'm on my second one
All right.
because it's a good kind of brunch.
All of your perception checks are with disadvantage until noon. I don't
French toast. Goblin toast. Goblin toast. Oh, it's the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. There is a young woman in kind of the booth, like kitty corner to you, who is like clearly kind of like staring at all of you. And she looks, like she's, perhaps maybe was eavesdropping a little bit, trying to assess what's going on with the four of you and how many mimosas you've had to drink.
Levithia's just sort of staring at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Since I think I'm the only one that noticed her.
Yep.
I will continue talking to everybody, but slip into Thieves Can't the message, what do you want? So, as I understand it, it was a goblin, and what was its name? I don't remember its name. That's weird. Anyway, the goblins make this toast, and it's great.
Hearing you speak in Thieves' Cant, the young woman's eyes kind of light up, and she gets up and kind of like does almost like an exaggerated cartoon 3 steps to get from her booth to your booth. And I don't know if there's space in the booth for this person, but they kind of like they make space and slides in. We'll say next to Krong. And she makes kind of a dramatic show of reaching into her robe and producing, it looks kind of like a little wooden cube, and putting it in front of you. This is what the woman looks like. She's dressed like she might be some kind of like scribe or other person that is the white collar people in old timey D&D world. Not a laborer, but also not someone who's super rich. And she does kind of
a check?
A fake cough.
We're not ready for the check yet.
I offer to order her a mimosa.
I really appreciate it. But this is from a friend of ours. And she kind of taps on the wooden cube that's in front of Krong.
I pick up the cube.
Okay. It's small. It's a couple inches on each side. It's mainly, wood. It's got some fancy kind of little brass inlays around it. And looking around it, there doesn't seem to be kind of like a hinge, but there is a visible keyhole on one side.
I take out my thieves' tools and try to pick the lock.
Okay. Give me a I believe that's a dexterity check with your thieves' tools. I think you have an advantage if you're trained in thieves' tools.
I have proficiency in thieves' tools for sure. So I'd really like to add my proficiency bonus to this.
Please do.
That comes to 13, unless I also have advantage, in which case I will reroll.
Why don't you reroll?
That comes to 11.
Krong, you are, and this is, it's hard. This is a very delicate lock. It's very tiny. It's also, you think that there's some magic in this old box, and it is, you are stumped as to why you know, if you're going to ever be able to unlock this box that may or may not be unlockable with your thieves' tools.
I say, Levithia, give him the key.
I'm sorry, what?
Remember that key? Did you bring that key?
Oh, yeah.
You put it in your pocket?
The young woman is nodding her head very enthusiastically.
Levithia pulls out the key. It's like, oh, yeah, this thing. Here. And hands it over to Krong.
Oh, I take the key and I insert it into the lock and I turn it.
Okay. The first thing you all notice is that suddenly the sounds of the tavern are completely muted out. It's like all that kind of background noise and the din and people's forks on their brunch plates and whatnot. Suddenly silent. You can still see people. There are people around you, but it's like no sound from the world around you is getting in. And then the box begins to speak. It sounds like the voice of the young woman who gave you the box. Greetings, operatives, or should I say potential operatives. The Golden Vault has learned that the egg of an eldritch horror has been mistaken for a historical object and is about to go on display at the Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History. The anthropologist, Dr. Cassie Donnell, tried to warn officials about this egg, known as the Merkmeyer Stone, but no one believed her. We do, and we know that if this egg hatches, many will die, or worse. This quest, should you choose to undertake it, requires you to infiltrate the museum, steal the egg, and return it to Dr. Donnell, who will neutralize it. There's no time to waste. The egg could hatch at any moment. Start by meeting with Dr. Donnell at the Varkenbluff University. Good luck, operatives. The sound of the tavern kind of resumes slowly around you.
Whoa.
The young woman is just looking at all of you and just really smiling. We've our friends, mutual friends, have had our eye on you for a little while, and I have been given the task of recruiting you and kind of managing this current situation. My name's Mira here, from the Golden Vault, and it would just, I am really, really rooting for you all. It would be great if you are successful at this first job, both for me and for you, and for Varkenbluff and the greater Varkenbluff area.
Is there anything else in the box?
The box is not open. It just, plays a recording. And in fact, you notice that the box is like slowly starting to kind of fade away.
Fade away, like vanish?
Yeah, it's just kind of like
we remembered
turning into dust.
We heard.
This message will self-destruct in 2 seconds.
There's kind of a slight rattle as the little key hits the table. Oh, make sure to hold on to that for later. Probably not relevant anytime soon, but I had proposed that we make the keys disappear and not the boxes, but I was overruled. But when I'm in charge, things will be different, says Mira.
What other plans do you have for changing how things are run?
Well, I shouldn't get into details with potential people.
That's reasonable.
Besides which,
honestly,
there's a horror egg to stop from hatching or have hatched somewhere that it isn't. So we should probably get on that.
My boss is a real morning person, and so he insists that all these briefings be at 9 a.m. I would have sent you the box last night if it was up to me. But I'm a night owl. What are you going to do?
I pick up the key.
Any questions?
Do you get a kickback from this tavern?
I do not. It's kind of
should.
hard. Well, there's a challenge of sponsorships and secret societies. Or we prefer to say societies with secrets.
What are your opinions on Goblin Toast?
Pro?
I nod.
To the university!
All right. Good luck. It's really important that you're successful and you head out.
You can tell it's really important that
what does this
untested adventurers do it. So
what does this egg look like?
Dr. Donnell will have answers to all your questions.
Well, okay then.
Because I'm not sure. All right. Varkenbluff University is not too hard to find. Varkenbluff is, it's kind of a one college town or city. And so you head to Varkenbluff University. It's your classic campus with, big gray stone column buildings. There's some ivy. And I guess the question is, where will you find Professor Janelle?
Is there a directory? Was the professor in a particular department?
I believe that you were told that Professor Janelle is an anthropologist.
We were not told that. That's the first time you've ever said the word anthropologist.
Ever?
Ever?
Canon. Tony Life canon right there.
I'm looking at the script that I read from, and it says anthropologist, but there's no way.
It's possible. I don't remember.
It's possible someone interrupted you.
Let's go to the anthropology department.
You seemed very certain, and so I'm not a confident person. So
I always seem very certain. That's my secret.
Why would you lie about this? This is finally Monty makes his move. Yeah. All right, and so you head to the anthropology department, having remembered that is what I said before.
Are bugbears okay on this campus?
I think so. There's not like a sign that says no monsters.
All right, because I'm still a giant nightmare monster.
It is broad daylight.
Monty, in some ways, your giant nightmare monster, there's kind of two aspects of a heist. There's the stealing stuff, but there's also the like lying to people and convincing them of things. You might be a little min-maxed. Especially also there's the challenge of there could be an advantage to say not being memorable. And Krong is very memorable.
I can skulk through the shadows if you guys want.
So I don't need you to. I'll protect you.
After a little bit of wandering around Varkenbluff University, you find Dr. Janelle's office. It's way, way down at the end of a hallway. It's kind of tucked away in a corner. It's kind of a dark and gloomy hallway. Great for Krong, but it's not very well lit. And it looks like this may have, before it became a office, been some kind of storage closet. There's, not a lot of light. There's something dripping, and it is just full of books. This is an image they provided me of Dr. Casey Janelle, who is a young, by professor standards, young anthropologist who looks up at you as you come in and says, yes, I was expecting you. You are friends of ours.
Io Edibiri. That's who that looks like.
Oh. You are.
Hello.
Hello.
Please tell us about the Merkmeyer stone.
Yes.
It is urgent.
Yes, it is very urgent. In fact, it may be more urgent than even our friends were led to believe, based on some of my latest research. You see, I was part of the team that originally dug up the Merkmeyer stone from the Merkmeyers, the official name of a large area of swamp expanse north of Varkenbluff. And we unearthed, as part of one of our digs, this fascinating kind of green stone, and she holds up her hands to show you kind of how big it is. It's substantial. It's several feet on each side, and it seemed to just the light seemed to kind of flow through it with just a very kind of strange way, and it has some strange etchings into it. And well, my team and I, we were fascinated at first. We'd never seen anything like it. It seemed like it was proof of a new culture that had lived in the Merkmeyer before the founding of Varkenbluff. But I have done some additional research on some of the things that existed in the area in the Merkmeyer before the founding of Varkenbluff, and well, I'm pretty concerned and convinced that, and when I say pretty, I mean like 100% convinced that the Merkmeyer stone is an egg that will hatch tonight at midnight.
Yikes.
Who laid this egg?
I believe some sort of To use the word God, it would be troubling. But a god-like being, kind of a natural force, probably something that was very focused on consuming all life. Yes.
I
And
didn't
this
know
would be
gods laid eggs. I thought they spawned by, appearing
Oh,
out of each other's foreheads and stuff.
oh, gods are known to reproduce in all manner of ways, depending on the local beliefs of a given civilization. I could go on at length about the different ways that gods are known to procreate.
How big is this egg? Is it like, salmon or like chicken or like ostrich or like rock? Like how big is the egg?
It is
Do we
rock
need to
shaped,
bring a
which is
wheelbarrow?
I recognize is relatively unspecific. Larger than a loaf of stale bread ready to be made into goblin bread, if you know what I mean.
What
That's
if you
a big
put
egg.
your hands up so that you were holding it, and then we could really see how. Oh,
Oh, you got to cradle it with your
Yeah,
arms.
she
Wow, that's
kind
a
of
big
cradles
egg.
it
That's pretty
like
big.
like as a yeah. Oh,
all
and it's
right.
not exactly. I mean, I use the word egg here because there's a being growing within it that will hatch. It's not exactly egg shaped. It's more like just rock shaped.
Okay.
Do we
But I've been
have a-
working. I've been studying the scrolls, and I'm very excited. She pushes kind of a stack of books aside, and there's this strange contraption on her desk. It looks like kind of like a crate made out of crystal. And she says, "This device, it's of my own. Well, I mean, based on specifications from the ancient scrolls, but of my own creation, not of my own design. That would be. Oh, I'm getting carried away here. Well, this will help us diffuse the egg, provided we get the egg in here before midnight tonight. If we don't, well, that's really not on me at that point. That's outside of the realm of academia, I think.
So where
How
is
confident are you that this box will work?
80 to 85%.
where is this egg being held or this god rock egg thing? Where is
Yes.
it being held? How can we get it? Why can't you just tell them?
Well,
give it
I
to
did
you?
tell them, and no one listened to me. All of the findings from the dig were handed over to the Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History. The university has a very strong relationship with them, and well, I told them, and they did not believe me. And then, well, I may have tried to steal the egg, and I did not go well. And honestly, I think I'm going to get fired next week.
oh no!
That's
I
terrible.
know. I might have to move to Waterdeep.
You don't have tenure, huh?
You don't want to do
Nope.
that. It's not great there.
I am pre-tenure. Once you get tenure, you steal an egg, nobody can stop you. What are you going to do?
Is there anybody in particular at the museum who is your nemesis, or is it just the whole system man?
No, well, the curator, Alda Arkin, was completely unsupportive of my research into the Murkmire egg and the Eldritch Beach within it. He is just convinced that it's just a very pretty rock and people will pay a lot of money to come see it. He's got it on display, ready to go on display tomorrow morning in the Gemstone Wing. But, well, I suspect by tomorrow morning, there won't be much left of the Gemstone Wing. Not really sure about what the status of the museum itself will be. It really depends on the motivation of the creature and whether it hangs out there or moves on, how many people there are to eat, and so on. I don't know a lot about the biology of eldritch horrors.
So, if you have tried to break in, can you give us any information about what we should be aware of? What kinds of protection, security, guards?
The lay of the land, the scouting report,
yes.
stuff like that.
Can you do
and-
our homework for us?
I can. They our friends, Coleman Balt, indicated that any information I could provide would be helpful. And I have been as a professor to the Varkenbluff Museum many times myself. Allow me to show you this. And she knocks over another stack of books and pulls out a big rolled up piece of paper that's strangely on her letterhead, despite the size. Clicking show to everyone in Roll20. If you double click on that, I think it'll fill your browser window. And she has kind of a hand-drawn map sketch of the Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History. She's very proud of it. And it shows you that Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History is kind of two main floors. And and the gemstone wing is on the second floor. And she's got some notes here about the Varkenbluff Museum.
The gemstone wing. That's useful to know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
Other things that I have tried to do to help you out on behalf of our friends, the Golden Vault. So you guys took keys, right? So there is a gala tonight at the museum, and our friends thought it might be useful if you had the ability to attend the gala. And so she pulls out from a pocket four kind of shiny embossed invitations to the gala starting at 6 o'clock tonight at the Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History.
What time is it now, Tony?
I think it's about noon by the time you've gotten to across Varkenbluff to the university. You may have gotten lost along the way.
So then I'm going
That's not drunk anymore.
and then I'm going to say, wait a second. I love dressing up for a ball as a pretense to steal something. I think that is a dream I've had for a long time.
You could also
However,
simply use it to scout the museum in more detail too and come back later. The museum closes at 8.
Okay, I just am saying that we have 12 hours until the god thing hatches, and
True.
6 hours from now is when the gala starts. So this is great. I wonder if we might want to go to the museum before that.
Perhaps. I'm really not an expert on heists. Anthropology is my thing. If there's something I can help you out with from an anthropological perspective, let me know.
Well, the map says there's a few ways in. There's a loading docks that gets into the basement, but we don't have stairs to the first floor.
I apologize. I've never seen the basement myself, but I know it's, underneath the first floor.
And there's an attic window that I like. The attic window. We can get if we can get onto the roof, we can get in through the attic. Presumably, get to the second floor that way.
Are there any other buildings next door?
It's kind of it takes some time to think about it. It's kind of its own block, so it would probably it is. There's not any attached buildings next to it.
So no taller buildings across the street.
No.
What if we just walked in the front door and sussed things out as like patrons of the museum?
Right.
You certainly could.
Because
it's open.
It is open. It's open to the public.
Well, that's where we should start. We got to scope it out.
Absolutely. We should drop off our orders for tuxedos, though.
Well, you guys can just come back to my place. We have, oh my God, there's so much stuff.
Great. I'm sure you have something that will fit me.
We'll have a montage of trying on outfits.
Our friends sent this along in case it would be helpful to you. And she pulls out of a filing cabinet a kind of fancy looking bag and a sack of gold coins to hand you.
This does seem useful.
What's in the fancy looking bag?
You open the fancy looking bag and it's empty.
What's this fancy looking bag for? I say.
Oh, well, it can hold a lot more than it looks like it can hold.
Oh, it's bigger on the inside.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm told it weighs 15 pounds, regardless of its contents.
Is the opening of the bag big enough to fit the Merkmeyer stone in it?
And the box that it needs to go in?
She looks at it and says, I think so.
I mean, we have the box right here. So, test it.
The box is too big to put in the bag, but it looks like, the bag fits in the box. I don't know.
So we're going to have to find a place to stash this box. Mm-hmm. Put the egg in the bag. Take the bag to the box.
Oh,
put the egg in.
I need to do some more work. Yeah, the box stays
stay here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's
we go
very
there,
important.
Get the stone.
The ley
stone
lines
goes in the bag. Then
and the I've got the stars are aligned with it right here. We should probably not even look at it directly.
I think I missed the.
It's very delicate
of the thing. So we don't need to get to it by midnight. We need to get back here by midnight.
Oh,
right.
Yes. I would ask that if you are not here by midnight, that you do not return. I'll be here, but I would appreciate that you are either here before midnight or not at all.
Will the building be unlocked?
Yes, it's an open campus.
All right. Office building.
Yeah.
Inside there is the bag of holding that you've been given. You've also been given a generous stipend from the Golden Vault in case you need to purchase any equipment or do anything else. Basically, your per diem for saving the city is 20 gold pieces each.
Okay.
That is the total budget for saving the city is 80 gold pieces.
I think it's time to reconnoiter at the very least,
to save the city.
Yes. I agree we should reconnoiter. We should definitely plan on attending the gala, though. So on our way over, I would like to stop by someplace and just have them take my measurements
tailored
for a suit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That totally happens and takes a significant amount of time to get measured for a bugbear appropriate suit. Do other people wish to get measured for suits or gowns or anything else? Or maybe some people are already.
I have a selection of appropriate gowns already.
Do you want to go?
So
Do you need to swing by and just pick out some options?
Well, they're at Levithia's house.
Okay.
So we need to get those.
Yeah, but before the gala, not before we go
Yeah.
hanging out at a. I suppose we could put them in the bag.
We could put them in the bag.
You can put them in the bag.
Oh,
I will
True.
tell you-
Then we could hide. Yeah.
Yeah, it is probably something worth thinking about as adventurers. You do obviously possess, even at level 1, a decent amount of, armor and weapons and whatnot that it would be totally appropriate to be wandering around in the wilderness in the Murkmire, but might not be as appropriate to wander into the Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History.
Can I put
with swords and
my
axes and whatnot?
flail in the bag?
That's what it's for.
Yeah, I think we can put all our stuff in the bag so we seem like regular people.
Yeah.
And then we can go into those bathrooms that are right around
Just
the corner.
a regular, horrible monster. And
Hello, I am a regular art patron.
and a fish man and a goth lady and just a normal human. So
I'm very
Definitely not
nondescript.
wearing chainmail.
yeah. I would like to, just because it may be important later, who is going to carry the bag that has everything in it?
Erica,
It doesn't go
Okay.
with my outfit.
the forgetful one.
Okay. Levithia has
I don't
the
leave
bag.
things behind. I just space out. So that's smart.
Yeah, there's different types of forgetfulness. Levithia has the bag of holding that has all of your worldly possessions in it.
What does it
All
look
right.
like on the outside?
Did you see the picture in Roll20?
It's like a little,
I
yeah.
still
It has
have
like-
the map open. Oh, okay.
It has like a neat kind of face embroidered on it.
I like it.
Yeah. I'd never seen art of a bag of holding, and I'd never stopped to think about what one would look like. I think I always imagined a bag of holding more as just like a burlap sack.
Same.
And this one is more like
Way
a
better.
fancy like a satchel with it's much more colorful than I would have expected, I
It's
guess.
like a little message
Yeah.
I always
bag.
picture it.
Yeah.
We should coordinate your outfit to go with it so it looks normal.
So something that
when
goes
you're
with red and
carrying it.
blues. Got
Mhm.
it. Do you have any gowns with faces on them so that you can match that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I always picture a JanSport backpack because
Oh.
I was 14 when I started playing D&D.
Yeah, I have several
Perfect.
gowns that are like they're kind of gowns. They pass for gowns, but you can tell they're the kind of thing that, a girl's going to wear where she's trying to sneak out of the party as soon as possible to go cavorting in the woods, and her parents didn't want her to completely ruin super expensive fabric. So a messenger bag over one shoulder would work perfectly.
Nice. All right. You head to Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History, conveniently located in the historical district of downtown Varkenbluff. It is a large, kind of granite-looking big building with big columns. You can see it looks like it's several stories. It's a pretty imposing kind of edifice. Let's see, things that you would notice just from the outside. It looks like it has big, high, vaulted ceilings, and it's a fancy looking place. Let's see, I do
Vaulted
have
ceilings, you say?
yeah.
Interesting, because this says it might have an attic.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Are vaulted ceilings incompatible with an attic?
Well, I just figure that if you're indoors and you see big, giant vaulted ceilings, then there isn't an attic on top of it. So
Well,
from
there
the
could be
outside,
levels
we
and
would
levels and
see-
levels. I'm gonna reveal the kind of main lobby. You're gonna have to scroll. Actually, first I will take you to the screen where there is a map, and then you will scroll down on said map.
Ooh.
All right. So you may need, and your tokens are toward the top of the map, but level 1 is at the bottom of the map. So heading in, you are in a huge open lobby. The ceilings are 30 feet high above you. Kind of to your left and right are statues depicting robed human women. This seems to be kind of just like a large public mingling space. There's lots of marble columns. There's an information desk that looks like it's staffed by some interns. There's a grand staircase draped in a rich carpet on the north side of the lobby that heads up. You see hallways on the western side of the hobby. You see hallways on the western side of the lobby that presumably lead to museum wings. There's a bunch of, it looks like it's probably more like museum offices on the east side of the lobby. And there are not one, but 2 gift shops tucked in under the grand stairway leading up. So this is Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History. There's a kind of ornate, fancy sign indicating that admittance is free, but donations are encouraged. 3 gold pieces is the suggested donation amount.
I will immediately put 3 gold pieces in the thing and saunter past.
Okay.
I put 2 in.
I put none in, and I walk in with my head held high.
And I'm just sauntering along with everyone else.
Ravel. All right. A lot of sauntering today. As you
what
kind
you
of
do in a museum, man? You saunter in.
You saunter in. As you saunter about, there's a mix. It does seem like it's probably good that you stash your armor and weapons because you feel slightly underdressed for who is hanging out in the Museum of Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History on a Tuesday afternoon in the middle of the day. It's definitely kind of your upper class folks of Varkenbluff people.
I'm dressed like super nice because that's the only clothes my parents let me have here.
Okay, you're great. Everyone else, question?
No, I wear black and purple, but they're quality
right.
black and purple.
Krog, are you wearing pants today?
No.
Okay. Krong and Ravel may or may not look out of. Maybe people assume that they are your servants. It does seem like the people that are visiting the museum in the middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday are your rich upper class folks.
Well-heeled.
Do I know any of these people?
Do you want to or not?
I don't know.
I don't care if I do or not because I'm just going to ignore them.
I forget, Levithia, would you know people in Varkenbluff or in terms of your origins or not? It's up to you.
I'm from a really, really rich family, so I have been forced to attend parties in Waterdeep and here, even though, like I said, I tried to keep to the country manor as much as possible.
You definitely recognize some faces. I don't know if you know anybody by name.
Yeah, like here. I'm not going to go up and talk to them. I'm just wondering, like, should I prepare myself just in case? Not that they would necessarily remember me, but you know.
There are some signs indicating both that there is a fancy gala tonight, 6:00, and that tomorrow is the opening of the Gemstone Wing, featuring
6:00 or 8:00.
6:00 is when the gala starts. 8:00 is when the museum and the gala close.
Got it.
And that the Murkmire Stone will be officially on display starting tomorrow for the public. So you are in a museum.
So I think we should super casually and not too directly make our way to that wing upstairs.
Okay. I'm going to head straight up. I feel like you probably are concerned about assessing the security situation here.
Indeed.
I will mention.
I want to know if there's any alarms on this floor.
Okay. How are you going to detect if there are any alarms on this floor?
When we walk in, I'm going to look at the door we walk through, see if there's any magic sigils or something.
I'll make an Arcana check.
I can do detect magic, I think.
Oh, that would be the most direct of
Yeah,
those
go for
various options.
Yeah, direct magic keeps going for like an hour, doesn't it? So you could do that as we're outside.
I can do divine sense. Not quite the same. That was a different character. So I can tell if there's any good or evil, but not magic.
I would save the precious spell slot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Krog, did you want to give a perception check? And Levithia, did you want to do an Arcana check?
16.
And I got a 7.
Krog, you notice there's stuff, but it's hard to know what is just the ornate nature of the museum. Levithia, you are looking around and you notice it's on this first floor. I'm going to ask you where are you looking on in the lobby?
Let's see. Where is the place that we dropped off the gold?
Did you drop off the gold somewhere? I missed that.
Yeah,
We put a couple of pieces.
Oh, right at the that would be at the kind of reception information desk right here.
Okay, so that's where.
Just north of. So you're standing
so, like,
there.
I'm looking
and you're
around
looking
as
around.
I'm pulling out the coins.
You are looking around and you notice that there are a variety of sigils around this immediate area that are not activated. I don't know how magic works, so I don't know if that makes it easier or not or harder to find them. But there are several things that are warded with magical alarms. And just glancing around, you notice like a bunch. You notice that the door to the museum is warded. You notice that the hallway immediately to your west is warded. You note that the door immediately to your east is warded. You also notice that those statues, they might be more than statues. So you're like glancing around and you are getting like all kinds of thing on your heads up display, and you're like, I am 10 feet into this museum and there's a lot here.
I'm checking the ceiling too, FYI.
The ceiling it's just lovely, but not warded.
Okay.
Getting out is going to be the problem.
Maybe not.
We might want to try and find that basement door.
Yeah. What would you like to do next? You've mentioned a basement door. I think
we're going upstairs.
Going upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You're also, this is scouting. Splitting the party would not be, the most. I mean, your guess at a museum, as long as you don't start a fight, there's unlikely to be a fight.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
No, we want to like look at all the angles.
Okay.
That we can on the inside here.
Let me show you the second floor. This will be, you'll have to scroll up to find that. The stairs lead up to another large kind of central room on the second floor of the museum. And
I can't move Krong anymore.
Oh. I probably did something wrong. There more than one Krong token?
There were.
That's probably my fault. Sorry. Where is Krong?
There's a Krong up on top, and there's a Krong just inside the front door, and I can't move either of them.
I totally broke the one just inside the front door. Doing stuff. What am I doing? Try moving the one just inside the front door.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay. So you head up to the second floor and you emerge in the Prehistoric Predators exhibit, which is a large central kind of area of the museum. This area of the museum has the intact skeletons of several large prehistoric monsters on display, including the museum's most famous display, the beautifully preserved body of an Allosaurus, its leathery skin appearing supple to the touch. It is posed in a kind of dramatic, fearsome pose. The informational placard next to the dinosaur explains it died in the Murkmire millennia ago and was naturally preserved. There's also lots of display cases along the room's walls holding fossils and other local predators. There's a smaller number of kind of nobility wandering around. It looks like some of them might be, kind of junior scholars doing homework and whatnot. There are 2 guards patrolling this area as well. You notice there's kind of a hallway that runs east to west along the north side of the building. North of you, there's another hallway going due east from here, and there's a kind of main doorway going east from here. So east, west, and north are kind of your main options for where you might go from the Prehistoric Predators exhibit.
Now, the east is where the thing is supposed to be.
Yes, that's the
Correct. According to the
gemstone wing. Let's go check out the gemstone wing to the east.
Okay, there's kind of a fancy. It's not the biggest doors, but they're very fancy. And there is an easel with a sign advertising the gala tonight. The doors look like they are closed up, and as you kind of mosey over in that direction, Krong, one of the guards kind of mentions, "Sorry, folks, Gemstone Wing is under construction. They're setting up for a gala, but the grand opening is tomorrow. Come back then. You can see the Murkmire stone."
Oh, is the gala in the gemstone wing?
Yes.
Of course
I'm going to make another Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Not very well. That's a 7.
You definitely know that there are alarms around here, but you're having a hard time pinpointing where they are. I'll just remind you, as a, level 1 magic user, there is basically a common...
I'm not a magic user.
Well, as a level 1 student of life, it's a common spell is to set up some kind of ward such that when, someone who is not permitted passes by an area, stuff happens. That stuff could be all manner of things. It could be a siren. It could be statues that murder you. It could be an explosion. It's unlikely that the museum is set to explode when people, accidentally set off an alarm. But it could be the kind of thing where, suddenly a lot of people are notified that someone is where they're not supposed to be.
The guard that tells us that it's closed, I will just say, I'll just kind of shrug and pretend I ignored that bit and just ask, can you point me to the privies? And I look across the room or something.
And nope. Over this way, and he points to the northeast corner of the just down that hall there.
Off I go.
All right.
I go with her because that's what girls do.
We go together. Yeah.
Okay. You head to the back past the stairway. There is a off to the kind of northeast corner of the second floor of the Varkenbluff Museum of Natural History, several little rooms with privies in them. 5 in total.
Right. Well, I go into one and check out the wall situation.
It seems like
another
wall?
Arcana check.
All right. There's
13.
Nothing is magical about the privies.
So there's no wards on the walls or anything.
No.
I go to the end of the hall to see what's happening down there.
Yeah, at the end of the hall, there is a kind of it looks like you've kind of without meaning to possibly pass from the public area into the staff area. There was nothing. There was no, I imagine there's a sign that says staff only past this point, but there's nothing physically separating you from that. And there's a kind of less ornate, much more functional looking stairway leading up.
What are the ceilings like in the bathroom stalls?
They're, they're not 30 feet high.
I mean, are they is there recessed, acoustic tiles with space above them?
Yes.
Okay. Like space for a nightmare monster to squeeze into?
Sure. I'm not sure what I'm agreeing to here. But
I come to check it out with you, and I offer to give you a boost to look if you want to see if you can get into the ceiling.
Yes.
You're trying to get into the ceiling?
Uh-huh.
She said recessed ceiling, and you said yes.
All right. You get into the recessed ceiling. You can see that there.
I'm poking my head and I'm not
just poking your head.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm good. You're scouting. You can see that there is kind of a drop ceiling here above the privies. It does look like it does not connect to the gemstone wing south of there's kind of, I guess in architectural terms, I think it would be a firewall, but there's a significant looking kind of stone wall between the area you found above the privies and the gemstone wing to the south. You suspect the gemstone wing probably has a high vaulted ceiling.
So this would be enough room for potentially someone's to hide while they check the bathrooms before they close up for the night. Okay.
I will mention that one of the changes that was made to the bugbear class recently was that now bugbears can hide anywhere that a person that is size small can.
You could get 2 bugbears up here.
Because we're very good at hiding in small places. Then we come out, we unfold, we're huge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like a plan. The stairwell is interesting. It goes up. We looked at the map.
You could hide Krong there now and just have him wait like 6 hours.
Well, I feel like that what this is shaping up as is that we're going to go to the gala and learn a lot of information, but also we're going to hide over here so that when it's all said and done, we can come out and steal the thing.
Yeah. Now, you could certainly hide, I would say maybe 2 people. I think it would be challenging to hide 4 people. But you could try.
But
I
there's
want to go up.
5 stalls.
Yeah, I guess you could hide everybody in the ceilings above the stalls if you want. It might be slightly more conspicuous depending on the number of people that entered the gala and did not exit the museum, but it's certainly possible.
Now,
are there other things you?
But we could go. But we could go in with 3 of us temporarily in the bag of holding, and then we
don't
come
think
out.
You can breathe in the bag of holding.
You can.
How
you
long
can
can
breathe
you hold
for
your
10
breath?
minutes divided by the number of people in the bag.
Oh, okay. So it's a very short-term solution.
So 3 minutes from the outside of the museum, inside, front up the stairs, get into each separate stall.
Yeah. Well, no, you just
We want to mingle.
just on the way in, because then we count as 1 person, but it's actually 4 people for their count when we leave.
Just to be clear, you do have 4 tickets also, so you're.
No, but I'm just saying. You said they might be suspicious if not another.
It might
then
be.
again, they may be really
People
sloppy.
will
with
drift out. Like, it's not like
people.
everyone leaves
Yeah.
at the same time and they'll
That's
be
true.
clicking heads.
I don't know.
I think we've
You don't count rich people.
I think we've got some good options. I'm really worried about how we're going to get out with the
So
stone.
I had a thought, which is if this goes to the roof, which is something that's on the map, one possibility we could have with our gold pieces and all is to see if we could find a shop with maybe like a potion of feather fall or something like that, where we could actually, or some other method where we could run to the roof and then basically jump off with the thing.
I like this plan.
I wonder
That
if there's
sounds like
some
fun.
kind of equipment that you could use to like climb down a building. I'm imagining like a really big string.
Like a magical thing, like a rope or something, Tony?
A rape? Is that how you pronounce it?
No,
rope?
it's a rope.
It's
I
one of those
don't know.
words I've seen. I've seen in writing
Wait,
so many
Tony,
times. I've never said it out loud.
Are you suggesting that we use a rope to climb down a building? That's a
I'm gonna
novel use
suggest-
of rope, if ever I've heard it.
You
Rope
know?
is for things like, I don't know, making a statue.
talking about your feelings with lassoing like a something.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pitch this.
Okay.
Yes.
First, at the gala, we go in early. We get a look at the stone. We leave. We find a place to make a replica of the stone. We come back in. We cut the lights. We swap it in. Now we've got the stone. They don't know. We go up to the roof. We construct a minor catapult to throw the stone over the street to a bucket we've set up across the street on a different roof. Then we come back inside, we mingle, we leave. They don't know they don't have the right stone. We walk across the street, we go up to that roof, we hit the stone down, we take it to the professor, done.
What if you just you get a really big catapult and you catapult it all the way to the university, and then you don't have to walk to the university?
How far is the university from the museum?
About 4.5 miles.
Oh.
How big's the catapult?
Roof would hold a catapult that big. My concern.
Well, the key is especially you're gonna have to smuggle the catapult to the roof piece by piece.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna be here all afternoon.
My concern is any wards that might be around it that would be triggered by replacing it.
Would you like to
haven't seen it
explore
yet.
these stairs that
Yes.
have been mentioned?
I think somebody
Upstairs.
should, but I think it should be
Upstairs.
one person, and it should be somebody who could plausibly
sneaky.
say they got lost or be sneaky.
Okay.
Oh, Krong could just be sneaky.
Mm.
That's good too.
True.
Do you guys come back from the bathrooms?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Right.
noticed there's a staircase, and then I.
It might be less suspicious if we didn't keep
Mm-hmm.
going back there to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I would like to go to the privies, and from the privies, I will stealth and go up the stairs.
All right. Do you want to roll stealth? Because why not?
It's not a good roll,
Oh.
but it is a 12.
All right. I mean, that's not a bad number. It's just not an amazing number. It's probably a bad number for Krong. But you head up the kind of dingy, non-ornate stairs, and they bring you to a decent-sized attic room that seems to be kind of built into the top of the museum here. The attic map is kind of up and to the left of where you were on the map there. This area seems like it is basically mainly used as storage space. There's, in one half of the attic is like stuff that's been here forever, covered with a thick layer of dust. The other half looks like it's stuff that's being used more regularly, and you can see that somebody has already been kind of staging stuff to bring things down to the gala. There's some, fancy tables and stacks of table linens and a lot of chairs stacked up and ready to be carried down the stairs. There's also perhaps what catching your eye more than anything, the mid-afternoon light is spilling in, illuminating this attic from a very large skylight that dominates the center of the attic.
What an odd choice architecturally. Why would they have a giant skylight just for a storage room?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Does it? It doesn't go down because you said there's vaulted ceilings. It doesn't connect to the room below. Nothing.
Nope. Just this room.
It's
this
just
storage room.
that room is very well lit.
Just that room. Yep.
That is
It looks very pretty from the outside.
I will say the other rooms are very well lit by there's lots of magical torches all throughout the museum that presumably have some kind of eternal flame spell cast on them. But this room is very well lit with natural light.
Does the skylight open?
Looking up at it, the skylight is a good deal above. Well, I forget how tall Krong is.
7 feet 5.
The skylight is a small deal above Krong's head. You can see that the skylight clearly has a moving compartment or moving panel that would move, though it looks like it's pretty old and rusted and has not been operated in.
Doesn't
decades.
Krong have 10-foot reach? Can Krong go whoop?
Yes, he can if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But
It does
I will
look like
not-
there's a relatively simple but old and rusty lock locking this. The skylight is currently locked closed.
I will not touch it right now. I'm trying not to touch anything because somebody is going to be up here bringing tables down for the gala or whatever. Is there a box that says Merkmeyer stone stenciled on it or anything?
It does not seem to be anything like that.
All right. Is there any sigils or anything around the skylight?
Give me a quick perception check.
How about investigation, Tony? Investigation just once. Investigation.
I thought investigation was more for deduction with interacting with people, and
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
thought that was insight.
It is insight.
Oh,
But he's the DM.
I don't make any mistakes
anyway,
except for all the mistakes I make.
That was a perception. I rolled a 7.
As far as you can tell, the skylight is unlocked.
All right.
I'm sorry, not unlocked. You know it's locked. Skylight is unalarmed. There
Good
does
for
not
it.
seem
I'm glad it.
doesn't seem to be any alarms in the attic in general. I mean, and you did just wander into the attic and haven't set off any alarms.
I will stealth down, stealth into a privy, and then walk out of the privy noisily.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to, as Krong's doing that investigation, just wander into the cafe and then through the creatures of the past. Yeah.
All right. So Levithia, you head west from the prehistoric predators exhibit.
I'll get a coffee
There's
or something.
yeah, there's a little cafe here on the second floor. It is the Unearthed Cafe. There's one guard here, and then there's a clerk work in the cafe, and you buy a coffee.
Yes, and I tip not so much as to be remembered, but I don't stiff them either. Just the right
Yes.
amount to be forgettable.
Did you say you wanted to wander south from there into the other exhibits?
Mm-hmm.
All right, south of that, there's kind of a series of chambers. I'm just gonna open a couple of them here for you. Doesn't seem like it's maybe at this stage of the afternoon the crowd is starting to get a little bit sparser. There's some guards patrolling, but you don't see any other museum patrons at this area. There's several different rooms here. The first one is the Creatures of the Past exhibit. Fossils of small prehistoric creatures are arranged here, some as fully reconstructed skeletons. The exhibits include microraptors, ornithopods, dwarf elephants, and an ancestor of the cockatrice. Informational placards tell the stories of these creatures and their bones discovery.
Jason, you should be in there with her.
Okay.
Because wild shape lets you turn into any animal you've seen before.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, museum.
Yeah.
I'm drinking it in. I want to see all these.
Yeah, you do. You can already turn into an allosaur.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I question how exciting an allosaur is in a world with dragons, but
Well, I mean, the thing is, dragons are the excitement of dragons is lessened because they're not extinct. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, what if there was a dragon, but it couldn't talk and it had been dead for millions of years?
If we see a zoo, you should definitely go to it.
Monty, you're right. No, that's a druid wild shape tip, right? You gotta drink it all in. Yep, it's good.
It looks like Levithia and Ravel are continuing to wander through the exhibits. Let me know if you want to be doing anything in particular. The next set of rooms.
Arcana checks.
Okay.
Just as I go, just to see. That's a crappy one. That's a 9 in the first room. That's an 18 in the second room. That's a 19 in the room that my token is in right now. 15 in the next room, and then the last room is a 12.
Give me a generic perception check as you're meandering around.
Sure. What is my perception? What is my perception? It doesn't matter when you roll a 4. 6.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be much or anything in the way of magical wards or protections on this area. I guess at this point you would have had to have crossed many other alarms and precautions to get here. There are several guards patrolling. The middle exhibits is the Underground Wonders exhibit, which there's glittering ore and gemstones are arranged in velvet-backed display cases. Informational placards explain local geologic history. And then at the very end of the wing is the archaeology display. Picks, trowels, brushes, and other archaeological tools are on display here. Informational placards label them as tools famous local experts use to dig up the wonders found elsewhere in the museum. Murals along the south wall depict famous digs.
What's to the north? What is the north wall situation?
It looks like it's just a wall. Do you want to specifically look at the north wall?
Yeah, because I know that it's the other side of that wall. That's like I'm casing the joint all the way around the room.
Okay.
Where I know the egg.
Give me a quick perception check.
It's weird that there's privies on the second floor.
It is a little odd, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Gravity, helps something. 14.
All right. As you're looking around, a 14 is good enough. You do notice it's not like a secret door. It's like a subtle door. There seems to be kind of like some kind of utility door or space north of this on the north wall of the archaeological wing here. It's not intended to be invisible. It's just intended to not suggest that this is kind of a normal path for public entrance.
So it's human-sized, small-sized?
Oh yeah, it's a normal human-sized door.
Is it locked?
Do you want to find
Like
out?
with a no, I mean like with a padlock on this,
It does not look
obviously.
like it. It's kind of a sliding. It's a sliding door. It does not look like it's locked.
I'm specifically making an Arcana check here,
Okay.
and once again, that's a 7.
It does not appear to be magical. It appears to just be a door.
I'm tempted to try to open it, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Open it.
There's not a guard in this room right now, but there are guards
Okay.
wandering back and forth in this wing.
You can choose to do what would be technically
Does it open?
correct,
Which
or you
which
can
way does it
choose to what-
open?
It's a sliding door. It opens into the
Oh.
wall.
Meanwhile, I'm going to be sort of like positioning myself, again, looking at all the objects, but in a way that I know that their guards are wandering, but it's going to actually block their view a little bit. into
Sure.
this
I'm
room.
gonna
You're being a lookout.
lean. I'm gonna lean against the wall, just sort of like backwards, so that I would open the door and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize there was a door there." In case there's somebody on the other side of it.
Okay.
That's how I want to open the door.
And the door kind of rolls sideways into the wall as Levithia kind of stumbles into some kind of secret passageway. What secrets are hidden within the walls of Varkon Bluff Museum, and will those secrets be useful for finding the Murkmire stone? Or will the stone hatch and will everybody be consumed by an eldritch horror and they'll have to roll new level 1 characters who will fight a giant eldritch monster? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
Give away a code.
Yes. Thank you for watching / listening to our live stream. I do, as aforementioned, have I have a code that I can give one person who would like to play this adventure with their friends or enemies. I'm not going to tell you how to live. Using the Roll20 service. Here is how we're going to do it. You are going to go to the YouTube chat. You're going to answer a question, and the first person that answers will work it out over the member Slack, because I'm assuming if you're in the YouTube chat, you have access to the member Slack.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, because
Probably, yeah, right.
probably.
I'm not sure we tweeted
I
it
don't
out.
know.
I can see all the I can see all the reactions and comments here too, Tony.
Mainly, do you have a way of sending just one person a code if they get the correct thing?
They would have to contact
Yes.
me and prove who they are, I guess.
Okay. They would have to contact me and prove who they are through ways that we may have not figured
Speak,
out
friend.
because we've never done this
And
before. But here is the question that you must answer. You're getting ready. You're thinking, I know that there's a delay here in the on the YouTube. The question that I am looking for you to answer is, what is the name of the tavern where they all had brunch at the start of the adventure? Players, I'm not asking you. I'm asking listeners, and we will see.
I
Because
wrote it
I
down.
don't remember.
I actually remember what it was.
Anyway, what I was saying, Erica, is that you can choose to do what's tactically correct or what will make for the most entertaining story.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually more thinking about my character, like how
Okay.
bold and that's not really my character, but
I should have come to boss
I'm,
you around.
I'm fairly smart, so as long as I'm actually paying attention to what's happening, I can weigh things down. And I feel like casing a joint is one of the rare circumstances where I would probably be on most of the time, as opposed to over breakfast where it was just like slowly eating potatoes and staring at the ceiling.
Sipping mimosas.
I shared with the players I set up a Google Doc. Trish Matson guesses Smurgle Sandwich Shop. They were late to the stream.
Which is an
And-
excellent guess.
An excellent guess, but not correct. So the code is still up for grabs if someone knows the name of the tavern where this adventure started. Players, I set up a Google Doc which I shared with you just because I figured this is potentially a heist adventure, has a lot of names and what's it. So it's got the map in it and it's got the names of your characters. I wasn't sure what you'd discover while scouting, so I put in some information. You may wish to add more information yourself.
And we're going to be back here next Tuesday, right?
We are going to be back here next Tuesday. Future Tuesdays after that to be determined, but we are going to be playing at the same time next week, probably not finishing the adventure But yeah.
Unless it goes really badly.
Unless
or-
it goes really bad. Yeah, I mean, I feel like probably episode 1 is we have started the adventure. Episode 2 maybe is continuing
into
a scout and the gala, and then episode 3 is like where it all comes together,
I love
and
it when the
then
plan
comes
together.
apart.
Oh, no.
So
I think it's
like how
important.
the archaeologist said, if you don't do it right, just don't even show up. Just
Yeah.
get out.
I think it's important that we come up with several ludicrously complicated plans.
I
agree.
I encourage you to do that in
accurate.
character.
yeah.
You know,
Well, we have nobody who has
I know. Maybe maybe my
You made
question
it
was
too
too
hard.
hard. I did make sure to say it several times so it wouldn't be impossible, but it's possible.
That's okay. Somebody
that
can
people-
somebody will see this and will get back to you with
Yeah.
and
All
then
right.
you can provide the code to them.
I would suggest at this point, you tweet at the Total Party Kill Twitter account is probably the
Or
best
if you're
way
a
to do
member.
it.
Or if you're a
Or if
member,
you're a
go to
member,
the Slack and send
Slack, and I will look at the timestamps and whatever is first.
No, they should tweet it to TPK, but not as a reply, so that people can see on their Twitter feed that they are getting a prize
they're
from
not
listening
on
to
Twitter,
TPK.
because
True.
Not everyone's on
possible.
don't
Twitter.
need to be
Yeah.
a Twitter user to win though. So
Yeah. I don't know, Jason, have we ever given anything away before? I don't know how to do this. So
just give it away to somebody. It's fine.
I will also mention, if you enjoyed this and are not already an Incomparable member, you can sign up to be an Incomparable member and support the whole network. You can also, if you're already that and are like, gee, listening to D&D is really great, isn't there some way that I could give money directly to Tony? And the answer is you can, because Micah set up the web domain givetonymoney.fun, which is a way you can give me a few bucks if you are so inclined. I'm currently unemployed. Yeah.
I think we have an answer.
Secret Agent has got the answer. Secret Agent, you win. And I am forgetting if this person is also on the members Slack. But the correct answer is the Phoenix's Beak, which is the name of the tavern where things started out. So we will figure out how to get you the code, and then you will be able to, I will tell you, it is, this is not a plug for Roll20. They do not pay me. I literally paid to use their service and then pay extra money to buy various Wizards of the Coast modules. It used to be back in, and there are still, for example, the Dragonforge adventures were heavily kind of freestyled by me, and I built maps by hand in Photoshop and spent hours setting them up on Roll20. There are times where it's like, if you're running a published adventure, you could just buy the published adventure in Roll20 and they give you the maps with all the tokens on them and everything, and it's
Nice.
it saves you a lot of time. I just had like an intense flashback to like one time where I spent 12 hours making a map in Dragonforge. So, we plowed through in not 12 hours.
And then we went to a room and we're like, nope, and left. And you're like, oh, I built all the things in there.
There is a progression in the early Dragonforges, which was in the early time of Tony as a dungeon master, where I think the first Dragonforge adventure, the map is kind of, it snakes back and forth, but it's basically one long hallway with a series of doors that you could open and you would look into and would be like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And then you would just go to the next door. And then
looks creepy.
in the second adventure I ran, the Tombs of Diane, instead of being a hallway with lots of doors that you could open and not go into, it was a series of chambers that you had to go through to get to the next room. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Because you guys it would be like, the room beyond is a horrible torture chamber filled with a bronze mist, and we would be like, we are not going in there.
A creepy crown hovers in the air. Nope. Close the door. Goodbye.
Skulls dance across the floor singing discordant harmony songs of their ancestors. No, thank you, Tony. We're not going into that room. So much of the halls of Undermountain untapped because it was mainly bad stuff. So, oh well.
Stay out of those.
There's a reason it's not a vacation resort.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anymore.
Yay. Well, I think we have concluded our business here today.
Yes.
We will be back next week with more heisting. Thank you for watching our stream or listening to the bootleg. And we will see you next week somewhere, somehow.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.